Hello and welcome to step number 2 of transform your offline service to online. Now from step number 1, you would have actually worked out how long it's going to take you to transform one of your existing offline services to online. Now, if that amount hasn't actually scared you off, let's say you've actually realised it might take you a good 6 months to a year and that's still okay with you, then carry on with this course. If you feel that, okay, Jen, I've had a good, long, hard think and I'm not too sure that where I am right now in my working business life, finding the time to actually move one of my offline services to online. If you're not ready, that's absolutely fine, because it will take some hard work, some dedication, and also just time and energy, as you can imagine, to do this. So you have to really have a strong desire. So if you are really wanting to create a flexible role away from your offline business, then obviously this course will be for you. If you're wanting to maybe produce an additional stream of income into your offline business, but see it as a long game, a long-term type strategy, then continue with this course. However, if you were just completely snowed under with your offline business, because I've been there, it happens, and sometimes you think, I can't even find time for myself, let alone anything new, then maybe just realise that you can in the future possibly come back to this and rethink it as a strategy, as an exit strategy maybe. Or again, if you wanted to improve your revenue, this is obviously another way that you can do so. But yeah, I just want to make sure that you are committed and you are wanting to do this, because obviously time and effort is required. Now, step number 2 is all about do your research. I do find people, unfortunately, they don't tend to do this part of the research process very well. Just because you have an offline service, it really doesn't mean to say that it's just going to be making loads of money once you put it online. There is definitely a process. There are definitely many steps into this process that I want you to thoroughly look into. And I'm actually going to be training with you step by step in the following video on how you can actually do this. But my advice for you guys is to don't cut around the edges here. Don't cut corners, sorry. It's just, you have to really understand who your competitors are, if there is actually a demand for your offline service in the online space, and there are just so many other moving parts as well. So again, if you're committed, if you've given yourself a big yes, you are still wanting to move forward with this as an idea, then all I can say is please put the time, energy and effort into your research phase, which is step number 2. So the training is going to follow after this. And if you've got any questions again at any time, then please find me in the Facebook group and I will see you in the next video. Hello, welcome back to this video, do your research. Now, it is very important, and as mentioned just then, people just don't tend to do this very well for whatever reason. They don't know how to, they don't feel the benefit of doing so, they just feel it's not really a big thing, and it really is, because you're setting the foundations. You are really making sure and giving yourself the confidence to move forwards, to know that you actually have a space for your offline service. Because imagine putting all the time and the effort and the money and the energy into this, and then you realise that no one actually wants to buy what could be successfully doing very well offline, but there may not be too much of a need online. So like with anything, there's always a process, and this is what I'm going to walk you through. So grab yourself a pen and paper, put the kettle on, grab that cup of tea, and here we go. So define your service. Now this might seem a little strange because I refer to like the one service that you want to move offline to online. However, you might have a selection of offline services. Again, I don't really know exactly where you are. I don't know you too well yet. However, just basically select the one that you feel is going to give you a good chance. And if you go through the research process that we're talking about now, through the steps, then this should help you if you are stuck choosing one out of the many that you might have offline. So define your service, and it's basically one service, one funnel, one sales process, one system in order to get it from offline to online. So just pick one. Step number 2 is, who are they? Who do you want to work with? So who are your clients? Right now, who is your pool of offline clients who absolutely love your offline service? Are they male? Are they female? Are they both? What ages are they? What backgrounds do they come from? What's their education? What do they like? What do they hate? Where do they hang out offline? Where do they, as an idea, you might think, you might have an idea already, but where do they hang out online? Really have a good picture. I mean, if you're successful already as an offline business owner with your offline service, then this should be quite easy for you to just pick out your avatar. However, if you need to spend some time doing this, that's fine. If you have quite a new service, offline service, and you know it's already a hit and you want to maybe move it online again for various reasons, it could be because you want an exit strategy or you want to make more money coming into your offline business, or possibly you want to have a more of a flexible role, you want to work from home, whatever your reasons. If you're still not sure exactly of your newish offline service, then basically go to the idea of who do you actually want to work for? Who do you want to serve online? Who would be the ideal types of clients you want to work with? Because you need to think about this long term. I want to set you up for long-term sustainable success. So there's no point going for a particular target market because you think, oh, that would actually just, be the easiest way in. No, you need to be able to really understand who you want to work with, because you're going to be working with these people. You're going to be needing to speak their language. You're going to be wanting to create content for them. You need to be able to really have that passion and that get up and go every morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the case might be, to serve them. So you want to be working with the people that you want to work for, that inspire you to work hard for. Step number 3 is pick your niche. And a lot of people, and I know my clients in the past, have got cut up on this and hung up on it, and it can be quite a thing in the online space, especially if you were to Google, nail down your niche, work out your niche. But really, you don't have to get stuck on this too much, because you can actually work in a multiple of niches. But again, it's always best for the purpose of this service from offline to online to work with just one. So think of your market. Now, there are many markets out there. I don't know which market you're operating from, but let's just, as an example, because I do have right now quite a few people in the health and fitness space, just because I think as well people gravitate towards me because my background is in the health and fitness industry. I've had 4 indoor cycling studios, 2 in China, 2 here in the UK. So yes, the market would be health and fitness. But what is the sub-market of that big market? So in this example, the sub-market would be weight loss. So in order to niche down from the market to the sub-market, who are those selection of people, the group of people that you want to help and niche down and help? So that would be, in this example, either pregnant mums or mums who want to maybe lose their baby weight. That could be one particular niche in this sub-market, in the bigger market, the health and fitness space. Or it could be overworked professionals, busy corporates. That could be another good one, a very popular one as well to go for. It could be, in this example, I did write a few notes on this. I can't think now. Mine's gone blank. It could be a number. You catch my drift anyway. So how are you niching down? You need to think about this type of person, and inside and out, to the point where, I know it sounds daft, but I was actually recommended to do this myself a few years ago by one of my mentors at the time. Actually have a printed version of who they are and stick it on your wall. So every time you go to write and generate your content for them, you actually have in mind who you're speaking to, who you're actually serving, who you're positioning your service for. So if that helps you, then great. You don't have to do that. But to be fair, it's good to have that visualization, to be very clear as to who you're helping, because then you get to know their pains, their struggles, their situation, why they want to get from A to B, because that's what you're helping that person do. You're getting them from their pain point, their real sort of like problem point, from their A to their B, which is their pleasure island, where they find their happiness again, and whatever the situation is. And also number 4 as a point here, as part of the step, is like really define your story. And the reason why I suggest this is because we are all unique beings, and we all have a story, we all have a background, we all have a selection of skill sets and experiences, and why is it that you set up your offline business in the first place. Like us business owners, there's always a reason, and a very strong and a very good reason why we've set up a business in the first place, because we want to help and serve people. We've got a passion for something, we've got a need in order to help other people, and that is your story, and that's what's going to differentiate you from the rest. Because really, you could see the online space as competitive, and it is to a certain degree if you think about it in a certain way. Yeah, there are obviously a number of competitors out there, but at the end of the day, there's no competitor out there, because you are you, and there's no one else out there like you are. So to bring in your story, to bring in your credentials, to bring in your own unique set of skills and passions and experiences will always make you unique. So I do think that actually having a story defined right now, so you know what you can use and put that in your marketing, is going to give you a very, very good head start when you start to dominate the online space. Now, once you've gone through these 4 points, the 5th point here is to go to the 2 comma club. Now, what is that? If I direct you to Google here, now this is Russell Brunson. Not too sure if you've known or seen this guy before. Oh, my batteries are running out of my fire alarm there, sorry about that. So Russell Brunson, if you've come across the term sales funnel, if this is something you have no idea what I'm talking about, absolutely fine. It's something that we speak about later on in the course and that I actually guide my clients through. However, Russell Brunson is the brains behind ClickFunnels, and he's an awesome guy, very cool guy, and he basically has created the 2 comma club, and it's basically everyone who's made at least, here we are, 1 or 2 commas using his system. Now, the reason why I suggest you go onto the 2 comma club, because you know by looking at all these people on this list. Now, at the end of the day, these are normal people like you and I. They're business owners who have just happened to make, X amount of money in their business using ClickFunnels as an example. But basically, I want you to go through and see if there's anyone dominating the niche that you want to move into with your service. Now, no doubt you might have recognised a few of these people. They might have popped up onto your newsfeed, because some of them obviously will do Facebook marketing campaigns, so you might recognise them. But it's a sure start that if you were to maybe model one of these or a selection of these awesome entrepreneurs, then Grace Lever, she actually was one of my mentors about 4 years ago now, so she's awesome. I've actually used about 3 mentors from here myself, because I want the results. I actually invest in mentors who have the results that I'm trying to achieve for myself. So that's always a rule of thumb that I personally work to, and I quite recommend that you would do that as well. But take your time, look into this list, find the people who are doing what you want to do online, and then what you do, I mean, it's reassurance anyway, the fact that they're actually in this club, either the 1 comma club or the 2 comma club, so $1,000 or $1 million. So you're going to know that whatever they do online is successful. But in order to really confirm and concrete your research, what you can do is then use a tool called, or go to a website called SimilarWeb and use it as a tool. So if I actually bring into a real life current example, I'm actually working with a client right now who's opening up a gym, and we did some research, and what we did is we tried to find people that he wants to model himself, that he wants to be, the sort of services that he wants to offer. So we actually nailed it down to, and I'm just going to use one example for this video because I don't want it to be too long. We actually found Caliber Fitness for many reasons, and obviously everyone's unique, and I won't go into the reasons why we decided to select one of these. This is just one example of the few that we've got for him, for my clients. But yes, Caliber Fitness. So if we were to actually copy and paste a client for him in this example into this tool here, this website SimilarWeb, and it will come up here. And this is what I suggest that you do. And if we just wait for the page to load up, it's going to tell you some amazing information valuable information for free. It's going to tell you the amount of hits this particular website has per month. It's going to tell you the retention rate. It's going to tell you the bounce rate and everything. I mean, these are just details that are just absolutely priceless. And it confirms that when you are to model, and I suggest between 3 and 10 people to model, select your top 3, but go through this process up to 10 times and have a pool of people that you go to that you want to model from. So this is what you would do. So either find them in the 2 Comma Club and then find their email address, their website address, and then go on to SimilarWeb. So for example, for my client, I suggested that this is a very good business for him to follow, because here Calibre Fitness have actually 121,000 plus total visits to their website each month, which means that this style of website is working for the audience that he wants to actually go for as well. So it's a very good idea for him to follow. Also, we've learned that it has a very high retention rate, meaning it actually captures people and keeps them on the page. And I suggest that you actually find a high retention of between 1 and 2 minutes, so people landing on the page and staying on the page. This SimilarWeb tool will also tell you things like bounce rate, so you're obviously looking for a low bounce rate, and all these types of questions actually tick the boxes for my clients. And most of all, it will go through here whether they do a selection of whether it's paid or organic marketing. So actually Calibre Fitness does a selection of paid and organic. Okay, so I always recommend, as always, to start with organic first, see what works, see how the sales process works. Make sure we hit your targets when it comes to your sales process before we start generating leads into the sales process. And when you know you have a tight back end as well, meaning you have all the email sequences followed up along your sales process, because the fortune is in the follow-up, then we can move into the paid effort. So I think it's always good to keep in mind whenever you're modeling someone, making sure they have a paid marketing campaign behind them as well. So obviously Calibre Fitness, well actually they're called here Calibre Fitness or Calibre on the website, but it's Calibre Strong. And they come up as Calibre Strong on SimilarWeb, but I'll let you know why I keep saying fitness. That'll be for the next part of this process. But yeah, they also do paid marketing, as you can see here, paid. So what you would do is actually you would go to that company that you want to model. So in this case, for my client, it's Calibre. But if you go to their business page, they go to, here we are, Calibre Fitness online as their business page. So if you look here, they've got 6,000, just shy of 7,000 people liking their business page. So they call themselves Calibre Fitness on their business page on Facebook. So what you need to do is copy Calibre Fitness, and as another way of determining whether these guys are a good fit for my client, and if you can just obviously put it to your situation, what you would then do, if I go back to the slide here, so we've done the 2 Comma Club, we've done the SimilarWeb tool, we're now onto Facebook Ads Library. So what you would do is punch in Google facebook.com/ads/library, and this is all the paid advertising that a potential competitor in your field would actually be using in terms of their adverts. So what you would do is punch in the name of your competitor's business page, and obviously it comes up here, Calibre Fitness, and then you can see all the adverts that they're using. So they're paid Facebook marketing campaigns. Now obviously advertising via Facebook is just one of the places that you can advertise once we have a strong organic and a proven organic marketing strategy in place in order to sell your online service. However, this is just an example. You can then see, and this is what I'm suggesting to my clients, to actually model some of these adverts. So then it positions my client in a very good place in order to get results quicker, because basically We know that we can actually model his type of website. We know that we can actually find a very good amount of encouraging statistics using SimilarWeb. We also know that they are, as a competitor to model, they have a variation of adverts that we can use, because remember, guys, we want to make sure that you get results, and the best thing to do is just model people that you want to model from, because you like what they do. They're going for the same market that you are, and success leaves clues, and it's just always good for you to just model what's working. Hopefully I've explained that well, guys. If you go back to the list here, know your 3 to 10 competitors inside and out, and I would suggest you would go through this 8-step process up to 10 times. Find your up to 10 competitors, know them inside and out, join up to their newsletters, sign up to their YouTube channel, become a subscriber, log in and become a closed Facebook group member. Whatever they offer, just consume all their content, understand the language they use, how they present themselves online, what they actually do in terms of their content, you know, and save all their emails when it comes to their email content, and basically immerse yourself in their world, and it will give you a better or awesome head start when you do the research, and then it just makes things a lot easier for you when you try to sell and position your offline service when we move it to online. There was a lot in this video, and hopefully I've explained it quite well. If you've got any questions along the way, then please catch me in that Facebook group. But yes, if you need any of the here we are, the URLs. So this one here, just to go over, is a 2-club.com/the-members. And then we're looking for similarweb.com. That gives you all the tools you need in order to see if their website is worth you modeling once you find your competitor. Facebook ads library, sorry, that's where we will find someone's adverts. And yeah, these are just tools. These are tools that are free to use at your fingertips. Go off, use this training and get some valuable inside information. And again, it's just going to be more proof for you to know that what you want to do offline is viable for you to do online. All right then, I will see you in the next video.